Okay, welcome to another episode of Trenny and C. I'm Trenny.
I'm C. But you already know that.
You already know that. So today we've got another bourbon, delicious bourbon. It's the Elijah Craig 12-year-old.
Trenny and C, drinking whiskey, describing all the flavors for you and me. Irish, Scotch, bourbon, and rye. If they like a bottle, they'll tell you why.
Made by Heaven Hill Distilleries. And
47%.
47%, 12 years old. That's looking pretty good right there.
We're on a bit of a bourbon run here lately.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with bourbon. Bourbon's delicious stuff. And the quality, ranges so drastically that it's nice to show you guys a couple of recommended ones. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we're not going to review every single bourbon because not all of them are worth reviewing. But this one definitely hits a lot of the high points in the bourbon. It's got a high percentage alcohol. It's actually aged with an age statement. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's nice to review some of these ones that you aren't just going to put cola or some other mix into to make them tolerable.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't want to... drink your whiskey how you want, but if you're going to spend a little bit of extra money, you might as well actually enjoy the art. This has been being aged for 12 years. What if somebody was working on a painting for 12 years and
then put cola on it?
And put cola on it. Like, what's that?
What's that about?
Anyway. So let's maybe pour out that.
Yeah, and while you do that, I'll tell people about the unique Trenny and C Kunfuva rating scale.
Yeah.
We're talking about color, nose, taste, finish, and viscosity.
Yeah, there we go. So speaking of that, let's start right away with the color. I don't know if you can see it on camera there, but it's kind of like another, again, they're all kind of amber, sort of red, amber plus 1 or 2, especially because, as we've said before, but you may not know, all bourbons have to be no color added and nothing added to it. It's just straight
no flavor added.
No flavor added. So
I came up with the term golden brown.
Golden brown.
Is that a real thing?
I'd say so. Like a red, golden, brown. That's a color, right?
Golden brown and red.
Yeah.
It is today.
It is today.
As you can see, the bottle, if you're a positive person, is half full. If you're a negative person, it's half empty. If you're worried about your bourbon supply, it's half empty.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'd say if you're a whiskey drinker, it's always half empty.
Yeah, I'm scared. It's half empty once it gets to here.
Yeah, I always get a little bit freaked out when it's down.
Once it's cracked.
Yeah, once it's cracked. It's nothing like a fresh bottle sitting there yet. At the same time, what's it doing? What's it doing? Nothing. It needs to be drunk. Drink. Anyway.
Well, let's smell it.
Let's smell it. Oh yeah, it has a smell.
Tell us about it.
Okay, so I'm getting right off the bat this deep kind of charred oak. You can tell maybe not necessarily that it's really, really deeply charred, but the fact that it is 12 years old, it has had a heavy influence on the spirit. So when the alcohol soaks into the wood, the barrels are charred on the inside, which basically means it's kind of almost like it's been caramelized, like a creme brulee. And so the whiskey will kind of soak into those sugars of the wood, and it gives it that flavor. And I think this one really shows that oak kind of sugar influence.
I'm getting a bit of a fruit flavor there. Also a bit of like nuts and nuts like almonds, vanilla.
Yep. They're getting the kind of a burnt honey sort of smell to it. Buttercream. there's a part of it that reminds me of the Dutch bakery in town has vanilla slices. It has a vanilla slice.
Like a pastry.
Yeah, like kind of a confectionery pastry smell to it.
Let's drink it.
Yeah, we should probably drink it. Mmm. Mmm.
This is where I'm catching the oak.
Yeah, that is good. This is good stuff, people. Okay, so one thing I do notice is that it has a little bit of a spiciness to it, which I think would mean that they use a higher rye in their mash bill, which seems to suit this quite fine.
Yeah.
Quite well.
And it has a bit of sweet. It's a bit of a sweeter bourbon.
Yeah. Sweet and spicy, sweet and sour. Kind of like a vanilla bark. Like, what I mean by vanilla bark is not the vanilla extract syrup, but like the actual bark. That's what vanilla is. It's the bark of a tree.
Like a cinnamon stick.
Yeah. So, anyway, some cherry cola notes in there. Like I said, the rye.
The finish is where I feel like, and it may be related to the spice piece, it's almost the citrus almost in the finish.
Got a citrusy note there, for sure. Kind of the like almost chili pepper or something where it's
got that kick.
It's got a bit of that spice, and that's probably from the rye, I'm guessing. I hope there's rye in this.
We'll look it up.
Feel like,
well, you people will go on our Gmail and Gmail us
and tell us
there isn't.
Tell us everything we're
Or
wrong
put a
about.
comment. Put a comment in on this video and tell us how wrong we are. We don't do a whole bunch of research in advance and try and just regurgitate the same information that's already available. I mean, we just taste it and say something.
Yeah, we're trying to kind of do it semi-blind without having other influences. So,
and you will too. When you try it, you're gonna go, "What the heck are they talking about with buttercream?"
Yeah. Well, and so this is another good point: is the fact that we may be tasting things different than you. Everyone has a different palate, but also experience kind of comes into play a little bit. And we've been thoroughly enjoying our bourbons and scotches for a while now.
This bottle
a number of years, and you can't just jump in and taste and smell everything right away if it's one of your first bottles that you've ever bought. So,
but you can use our scale at home and go color, nose, taste, finish, and viscosity, and decide for yourself. But it's beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right? Like everybody's gonna experience this differently.
Exactly. Not everyone likes the 12-year-old painting with cola on it, but some people do.
Yeah, go for it. I'm enjoying it without cola.
Yeah, quite a bit. And we should mention also, a lot of the time we do put a couple drops of water in there. We haven't been doing that lately, but it does open the flavors up and kind of either, a lot of the time with bourbons, you can instantly taste that it's a little bit sweeter, or it will bring out that rye note and it almost thickens it up and spices it up. So anyway.
Should we do our overall rating where we're at?
Yep, I'd say so.
We do rate them in advance and put it into the high-tech, computerized Trenny CNTFV scale, so that we can formulate our score out of a possible 33.33 points.
Yeah.
Tell the people.
Okay, so I rated it at 23.3 on my scale. And C here came to 24.3, so it evens out as an average as 23.83 out of 33.33.
Still pretty good.
Great.
And for the price, for the price point, very good.
In the United States, you can get this for $25. Isn't that ridiculous?
And on our scoring scale, this is the same as some of the $70 scotches. Some of the $70, $80 bourbons, good value for price.
Yeah, it's a quality product. It's bottled at a higher strength. It's 12 years old, and it's relatively well priced. I mean, you can't go wrong with this guy.
Yeah,
Buy it.
Drink it.
Or send us samples if you don't like it.
If you don't like it, send it to us.
Anyways, cheers. I'm Trenny. This is C. Cheers.